good quality football team. They're right on the brink of winning some games, and I think here down the stretch, they may fix some things and they'll win a little bit more games.
What was successful Riley running up the middle there?
Say it again?
Why was Riley so successful running up the middle?
Well, one of the things is, they changed their game plan in the second half and started doing it like some quarterback lead plays and him falling the back, something that we hadn't practiced and something we hadn't seen. So it was a good change up on their coaching staff.
Corey, Dwight got beaten a couple of plays yesterday, but I think the reason that you signed him was evident because when it came to crunch time, he made the play.
Yeah, well, Dwight is one of our top cover guys, and he's one of the top cover guys in this league. Fred Stamps is arguably one of the best receivers to play this game for a long time, and I thought that was pretty good for them to go back and forth, and Dwight came up with a big play off of him.
Weldon Brown potentially been the best acquisition in the offseason quietly?
I think I'm pleased with all the guys that we've acquired. I think they've all done their job. I think that he's slowly growing to his role, and he's becoming more familiar with it and better each week.
Chris Milo. We go back to the beginning of the season. We wondered if Chris Milo would have a job.
Yeah.
Can you just talk about his performance and how he just continues to get it done challenge after challenge?
Well, Milo, like I said, is always in a good spot. We're not asking him to kick the long ones. We're asking him to kick the range that we know that he can do and have a higher percentage of it. Not only that, but he's very confident in his kicking abilities right now.
Was that part of the reason why you decided to go for field goals yesterday instead of gambling on third and short?
Well, the biggest thing is we want points. Anytime we're in that area, we want points. And we know that 7 is good, but whether it's 1, 3, whatever, anytime we get down there, we want the points. And some of the guys were like, Coach, believe us in the third down. I was like, well, if you do it in the first 2, I won't have to do it on the third one.
8 or 9 lead changes in the game last night. What were you guys able to do so successfully to bounce back every time Edmonton scored?
Well, the biggest thing we talked about pregame was being like clockwork, 1 second at a time, 1 minute at a time, and 1 step at a time, and that's what we did. 1 play at a time. We just kept, trying to be the best 1 play at a time, and when it came down to it, we had the ball last, and we did probably the best thing was to win a good game on the road.
Has there been a discussion with Diamond Ferry about his penalties?
Diamond sat down after 1. There's 1 penalty that I want to review because I didn't see it. I think it was the first unnecessary to roughness. The second one, I just chalked that up as football. He's a player that plays rough and aggressive, and is right there at that cutoff level where he's just a little bit below his knees.
Did they do anything in the first quarter that surprised you?
No, they didn't do anything in the first quarter that surprised us. Like I said, they're a team that they run the ball, but they want to rely heavy on their passing game.
Any injuries from the game that you can update?
Well, nothing that I can give you the exact on. There's some guys that was nicked and bruised through the game, but once they evaluated the day, I'll have more as practice starts day 1.